Hey y'all, Natalie here, and today I'm making this layout about my new pup. Her name is Belle, and I'm using the Days of Splendor collection from Pinkfresh Studio, as well as some of Vicki Boutin's Storyteller collection. And Belle just came up to say hi when I said her name. So this stuff I got in the A Cherry on Top store. They have all the fall goodies today, and I will link down below with my affiliate link so you can find some for you too. I'm just going through the Storyteller die cut pack, and I'm going to pick out some that I think go with the photos and the colors in that striped paper from Days of Splendor. And I pointed out before a couple of stickers or cut aparts that say something about home, because these photos were taken right after we brought Belle home. So that's kind of what this story is going to be about on my scrapbook page. So I cut the strip off the page because I think I'm going to use it as a background page, and I end up not. You'll see here in a second, but I just use a bit of it. So, and I'm going to do multi-photos here. I got these 3 sweet photos. It was hard to get photos of her. She moved around a lot, but I took about 100 and got these 3 cute ones of her. And that was like our little announcement. And so there they are. You can hear her shaking. And so I go off screen and I grab some lavender cardstock that matched that one stripe. Actually, it kind of doesn't really match. It kind of just coordinates with the darker purple and the pink. It's kind of in between. And that's going to be my background paper. So I put my clear gesso on, and my brayer was laying there, so I just decided to use my brayer. You just can't bray it too much or it won't give you a good enough coverage for gesso, but just enough to keep the coverage. And now we have it dry. And I'm going to use my Shimmerz sprays, and I tested out a few purples, and I end up going with Princess and I think Moscato Pink. So I'm using a wet on wet technique, so I'm just kind of defining a little triangular area there with my brush, and then I spray the wrong purple. But because I use my clear gesso, it's super simple to just wipe it right up. And then I spray the correct purple, which is more dusty, and then I mix it with some Moscato Pink. All of your watercolors, your sprays, whatever you decide to use in your background, your stamping inks, play with them beforehand and mix them together and see what colors you can make. And so for this, I wanted that dusty, darker eggplant purple color that is on the stripe of the paper. So that's where I was going. And I did that in my art journal before I worked on this paper because I wanted to get the exact color. And it took me a few tries of different ones to figure out the proper color. And I'm just going to add a little more color because I do want it really saturated. I definitely want it to show up. I don't want it to dry almost as light as the paper, you know. So, and a lot of it's going to be covered up. So I just want the part that's showing to pop. While we're watching this, I'll just tell you that we're a 1-dog family. We have a Morkie named Lola. She's 12, and so I'm like, we're a 1-dog family. We don't need another dog. Well, also, my husband gets whatever he wants all the time. I don't know how it happens. It's not always with me either. It's just with everything. He always gets what he wants. He wanted a new dog. Our friend was giving away a mini golden doodle. I have to have a hypoallergenic dog. So he was like, oh, she's perfect. We want her, because he wants what he calls a real dog, which is a bigger dog, which she's not that big. She's about 25 pounds. But he won, obviously. She's super sweet, though. We're going to house break her a little more, and she'll be good to go. So, so now you see I'm going to cut off 2 strips of the striped paper. I'm going to do a thicker strip and then a thin strip. And those are going to go at the top above her photos. And I'm going to rough them up on the edges first just to give some texture. I love Pinkfresh Studio. It's so beautiful. I love the bright whites, but I also love rustic. And so to kind of combat how white and crisp those whites are, I like to rough up edges and make it a little messy. I think about using the orange side of the paper, but then I'm like, no, I like how those double stripes look with a little strip of the purple in between. So that's what I go with. So I rough up the smaller strip, and it's going to go at the top. And what's next? Let's see. Oh, we're going to hair them down. So I make sure to leave a little purple at the top and then a little bit in between the two little strips of paper here. And I matched them up. I mean, that was easy to do. They were already matched. They're the same length. I cut them right next to one another, so that was easy. And that's kind of how the design's gonna go. I'm gonna put my title at the top and bottom of those smaller photos, and then we're gonna bring my journaling and other embellishments down in the triangle of the color that I've put. So there's my die that I'm gonna use. I know people are always like, there's so many words of hello. Why are we having hello on everything? But this is a time when it's great to use hello because we brought home a new pup. So we're saying hello to Belle. So what am I doing here? I'm sorry, I can't see. Oh, okay. So I've cut out hello and I pulled out a paper pad. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm tying a velvet bow. Don't come here for velvet bow tutorials. Don't come here for tying bow tutorials. I stink at tying bows. So it's supposed to look a little wonky, so that worked, but that's not my forte. I'm not going to teach you how to tie a bow. So I cut out hello from a 6x6 paper pad that's also from Pinkfresh Studio. It's not from the same collection, but I love how their colors kind of recur and you can mix and match collections really easily. So I knew I could grab another collection's paper pad and get a matching blue. So that's what I did. I cut out that hello and then I cut it out 3 other times from pink cardstock and I stacked them on one another just to give it a lot of dimension. They also give me a little shadow because they're not lined up perfectly, so you can see some of the pink around the hello, and I love that. So I also went over the hello with some glossy accents, and you can see this is the next day. It cured. That's why I'm handling it so well. And then I used the new Heather die from Pinkfresh Studio to cut her name, Belle. And so I outlined it in this orange check white. And then I put the blue on top of it. And there you can see the orange check. So I'm going to use that same checked paper to back this tiny little journaling bit I did. I journaled and I printed it out and it's super tiny, but I'm okay with that. You can read it fine. Maybe when I'm older, I might not appreciate that, but in order for it to look good on the page, I needed it to be that small, smaller than that home sticker. So I'm roughing up the edges. I also printed the journaling on a 6x6 sheet from the same paper pad. I'm not sure what it was, but it's from Pinkfresh Studio. So the colors are the same. It goes well with this collection. And I just ran that through my printer and it worked fine. And I roughed up those edges and then backed it on that same orange check that I used to back her name and for my title. I am like obsessed with these Heather dies. They're from the Cherry on Top store. I love them. They cut the little outline around so you can use it or not. Oh, I just love them so much. So now I'm just kind of figuring out where I'm going to put everything. And I did have a little trouble figuring out where I was going to put the 2 squares down at the bottom, or rectangles. But I end up being happy with how I layer them up, and you'll see that here in a minute. So I'm going to put that Storyteller floral wreath behind the photo up there. And I'm obviously some of it's going to be hidden, so I decided to cut off the bit that's going to be hidden, and I end up using that at the bottom of the page. So it just kind of ties the whole page together and gives your eye a direction to go, because it starts at the top there with that floral wreath, and then it'll go down to the bottom where the floral wreath ends. You'll see what I mean here in a minute. So I'm sticking down the photos. Yeah, again, gesso on the page. My AGT gun is good for keeping things on gesso, and that and the Nuvo adhesive is what I use. So that beautiful purple flower from Storyteller collection was so great with this purple theme that I have going with my page here. And now we're gluing down the title. I love using glossy accents. It just adds like this special little sheen, shimmer, shine to your page. Just an added little bit of extra, because we know I'm extra. So there I have put down the journaling bit, and now I'm gonna kind of stack the blue sticker but underneath with the wreath underneath that, and then it's a little bit sticks out, but I'm gonna hide it with the butterfly. And so I really like how we have like the blue title, a photo, the rest of the title in the same color blue, and then that journaling bit breaks it up, and then we have another pop of the blue with the sticker that says home. So we have our 3, you know, we like to follow odd numbers, rule of 3, rule of 5. And so we have our 3. It's not exactly a visual triangle, but it directs your eye to read and kind of get the idea of it. So I grabbed that little purple label off of the card. These are from the cardstock sticker Days of Splendor sheet from Pinkfresh. And it says yes. And so I put the date we said yes to Belle, the day we brought her home. And we're going to glue on some butterflies and then be about done. I'm just going to add these little white iridescent jewels. These are not from Pinkfresh Studio, but Pinkfresh Studio has an entire set of them that are so gorgeous in the store. And I almost put them in my cart the last time I ordered. And I'm pretty positive I'm going to do so for the next time if they're still in stock, because I see Missy use them all the time. And I have a few from another company that I use that are so gorgeous. So I know that I would love them. So I'm going to link down below with my affiliate link for a cherry on top. Please pop over and see bits of these collections that you need to add to your stash. And thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Bye, y'all.